Welcome to Clash of Health. Thanks for being here today. I'm actually going to read yesterday's message in addition to today's, because today's message, when I went into the Akash, was that yesterday's message was accurate and to reread it. So I'm going to do that live. I've got my cumin, coriander, and fennel tea, which is just a mixture of those three seeds. And it makes a great digestive tea. And I just had lunch. And I have it, I'm drinking it in my Keep Calm. It's just a snake cup. And today's message particularly was triggering for me. So hold on, because it's not so much the message, but the way I felt when I received it. It was very visceral. So here goes. I'm going to start out again with yesterday's message. The word tsunami comes up. I ask it, is it real? And they say yes. Prepare for the worst and expect the best. And I felt like this sense of protection around where I live. And I felt like the elementals were protecting me, which, is kind of interesting because weather is elements. And I felt like it was specifically the gnomes. So I'm not terribly versed. I'm a little versed in the elementals, but the gnomes in particular seem to be helping me along on my path. They said harmonious times have been. Prepare for the festival of lights. Celebrate the coming of Christ, and the new and the older domains will be listening. With Mother Mary's help, I went up into the clouds, which was very foggy. It was like a temporal place. And I saw Santa and the reindeers. I was told that if enough people believe in anything, there is a reality around it. And the North Pole came up. Remember a pole shift. It's expected, like the Earth's tilt. This also came up for me a few years ago when I was exploring the Akash, like an Earth tilt. I saw Scandinavia, like the Scandinavian countries like Sweden and Denmark. Then I got a blessing with this cobalt blue ball, and it was like almost like a color therapy. A politician named John Kane came through. He's a Democrat. I don't know anything about him. It didn't come through one way or another. It just came through his name. And then the next image I got was the American, well, no, not the American Revolution. It was Johnny Tremain, the book Johnny Tremain. And I had read it as a kid. I just remember little bits and pieces of the book, but I don't remember the context of it. And apparently it was written in 1944, and it was about pieces of the American Revolution. So I found that to be kind of pointed and interesting, given we're on the anniversary of that time period, 250 odd years ago. I saw like a peace flag and then shackles, and I got the message that some people won't be willing to release the shackles that are on them. It was a frightening visual. Then I saw a red kite in a Bulgarian village, Poland and Auschwitz, and then the word cry of the wild. And a red kite, I learned, is a type of bird that is very similar to like an eagle. And they are birds that kind of pick up the big perspective, apparently, from a spiritual context. Psalms in the Bible came up, and the Psalm piece, the way I could conceptualize best the Psalms in the Bible is like God's protection around us during uncertain times. And then Leviticus, that book of the Bible, which is like the third book of the Bible, which has to do with the freedom of the Israelis from slavery in Egypt. So lots of like accordion, past, present, future coming together, I think, of how in so many ways we're enslaved to powers outside of us, and that we now have the opportunity for freedom, but do we take it? And that some people won't take that opportunity. Let's see, what else? Okay, so this was an interesting thing. Iceland, Greenland, helicopter moms, and it didn't come through that that was a bad thing. Almost it was a good thing to be protective of your children right now. French poem World War II Blitzkrieg, which I talked about yesterday. The way that the Allied forces in World War II communicated with France was through cryptic messages about a French poem, which I didn't know about before it came through in the Akasha yesterday as such. And then I had to look up what is the, tie-in with a French poem in World War II. And crazily, there is a tie-in. I talked about the main situation yesterday. I'm not going to get back into that today. If you want details in terms of what I spoke about yesterday, you can watch yesterday's video. Cold winter, that so many of us are being held, that we're really being held. We're all being held, essentially. Some of it are embracing that hold, and others might be like fighting it, perhaps. And that it was important not to be too judgmental of ourselves. I'm gonna have a little sip of my tea on that one. mm. So easy to be judgmental, isn't it? That we're doing fine and that Jesus is coming. I was given a flower. On the flower, it said soon, hold on a little longer. Things will shift in a big way soon. So that was yesterday's message that I was told to reread today. So I'm going to skip over to today's message. Today's message, December 11th, 2024. What you wrote yesterday was accurate. Go back over it. A new day is dawning. The sun, S-U-N, S-O-N, is coming up overhead. Take cover, take shelter. The brightness will illuminate truths which may be difficult for people who don't want to hear. There will be nowhere to hide. And I asked, is this accurate? And I was told it is. I see a brilliant star. Forces are around all of you. The winds will pick up and change. Told to be the change. And then as I got this message, the wind outside my home picked up quite a bit. It's been a very windy day. Forces of nature will be slapping people silly. Awakened. Then I was told there is pirating of information, which is deeply disturbing. So I got a sense that that had to do somehow with AI, but I'm not sure. Fish catching, fish out of water, shift, changes, the rug being pulled out from under you. I dropped my pen at that point. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Look up these words. So I remember as a kid, I think my parents would say, my, oh my, what a wonderful day. And I didn't know what the context was. And apparently it has to do with a Sound of South movie that was about, it looked like maybe a man, well, all I could figure out was that like a man is singing the song and he's in nature and butterflies are landing on him and birds, got that off of YouTube. But apparently they've taken this song out of the movie that Disney did because it shows people, a black man being happy as a slave. So I'm not sure why it came up in the Akash. There was a 2022 movie that just came out and it had to do with nature. So it was a different context, but my guess is the reason it came up today was there are people who are enslaved by a dominion outside of themselves, and they're going to be the ones who are going to be uncomfortable with the illuminating truths because they're going to be needing to pick a side, basically. I mean, this is just my conjecture. I have no idea. I think it has to do with how we've been enslaved as humans and how, we've accepted it. And so that was the criticism of that song. And that's why that song was pulled out, apparently, it wasn't politically correct, so it's pulled out of the Disney movie, Sounds of the South, I guess. But who knows why that song came up in my mind when I was getting this message. Let's see, what else did I get? That way showers, light workers, such as us, will be needed. I got the chills. I had a very visceral reaction to this message, more than any other message I've ever gotten. Do not be afraid. You will be guided with each step. And then I got a sense that the Octurians would be one of our guides. I went up to the ninth sphere. I was beamed up in a spaceship. I was not afraid to be on this spaceship. I was beamed quickly up to the ninth dimension. I was directed to watch something on Gaia TV. Regina Meredith has a show that I watch on Gaia. So I don't know if I saw Regina Meredith up on the in the ninth dimension, or it was her show that I was supposed to watch something on her recent episode that might be illuminating. So I'll check that out. Information will come to you like in syncratic ways. So, and that does seem to be happening recently, where I'll get like this type of message and then I'll get it some other way outside of the Akash. So I am getting these like messages recently that there is something that's going to happen coming up. It's funny because I feel very centered in my life. Like things are really quiet right now. And before November, actually post-hurricane, or even before the hurricane, I felt this uneasy feeling that something was going to happen. I wasn't sure, like, is it the election? And then nothing happened really majorly with the election except the election results. And then before that, with a hurricane, I just got a feeling like something was going to happen. And of course, with a hurricane, something did happen. But now I feel like nothing's going to happen, but I'm getting these messages to be really aware that something is going to happen coming up. So I don't know what to make of it, but this message really was very visceral today that I got. Let's see. Watch for signs that say the same thing. So watch for similar signs. And then I asked, I had a flat tire, and then I had another flat tire in the same location with a different tire, same location on my car, the back passenger side. And I said, I asked in the Akash, did that have some meaning? And I was told yes. Hold. Oh, okay. So I got a message in a dream last night about someone, and they said, don't necessarily share it. Just hold them in your heart. And they said, there's no time to waste. Time will pass quickly. Watch for signs as they will come quickly. Carpe diem. Caterpillars will become butterflies. Watch the metamorphoses. And when I watched one of those videos about the song My Oh My, What a Wonderful Day, I saw these like butterflies in the song, in the video. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I saw the Star of David as a Merkaba, like this, dimensional star. And it was going into my third eye through to the back of my brain, right through like the pineal gland where light and dark is regulated and where we have flashes of insights. Then I saw my grandfather. He was blowing a whistle, one of my grandfathers, and I was really feeling like this nostalgia for my childhood. And then I got the winds will pick up. I saw a baby rocking in a cradle. I asked, is this a personal message that I'm getting today? And they said everything is personal, but it also is for the collective. You will be saved. Be careful. I saw these landmines, so there's definitely were like pitfalls that were going to be coming up. Step over and above them. Turmoil is sticky. There will be hand holding, mouse traps, love and healing. I saw the assembly, the House of Representatives shuffling papers. Greenland came up twice. Schumer, the Democrat from New York. Stop the presses. Nightmare on Elm Street. I did not see Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, so weirdly, I Googled the politician Schumer from New York, and he was responsible for a bill that was passed where we have basically military satellites in Antarctica around Greenland. And that was done in the last year. So I thought that was pretty crazy. Greetings, movie, stop the presses. Laudable inner work will result in magnificent changes. Everything's an inside job, and they said yes. Parlaying with fools will get you in trouble. Follow the guidance of your heart. Let go of extraneous attachments to Tomorrowlands not yet visited. One step at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't try to figure it out, I guess. Guidance will be given from above. Christmas storyline. I am aligning myself with Jesus at this point. My body feels out of alignment. I was thinking I need a chiropractic treatment. And I said, they said, you're in the yellow zone. And I said, this is a warning. And they said, yes. So that's today's message. Maybe you can decipher it better than I did. I didn't see Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to have to look up that movie to see what it was about. Lots of cryptic meaning in this message. The Greenland thing coming up 2 days in a row, and us having new planes that were $25 million, I guess, or upgrades to our satellite setup in Antarctica in the Greenland area, which is under the dominion of Denmark, which is a Scandinavian country. I'm not sure what all that means, but that did seem to have some kind of connection to one another. So have a good day, and I'm going to keep going in the Akash. I'm getting the message that I love putting out the other videos. I love putting out like videos on educational stuff like bipolar disorder and things like that are really normal, but I'm getting the message that this is the kind of stuff that I need to be putting out right now. So I'm following that guidance. Have a good day.